Hey, welcome back to my channel. Check it out. Today we're talking alternators. All right, one of the popular upgrades for updating your vintage vehicle, especially your electrical system, is your alternator from an external uh, generator to an
All right. I
internal
meant an external
generated
regulator and
alternator.
upgrading to an internally
For the
regulated
upgrades, it's
alternator.
still the 3-wire 10SI system alternator. In my case, I just jumped over to the 12SI. Um, you can recognize them by the fans. This one is from a 1985 Buick Riviera. So you can upgrade to an alternator that gives you about 94 amps. Now, that's perfect for a vintage vehicle that really doesn't carry a lot of load when it comes to electric fans and such, right? They carry mechanical fans and maybe one AM radio. But you start adding things, customizing, adding fans to your transmission cooler, adding fans in place of the mechanical engine fan, and adding fans for your condenser. In fact, you want AC, your compressor, you want to add radios, things like that. All right, it draws amperage and kills your battery. So the next big thing seems to be a CS130. This one is a CS144. I hear the CS130s, they kind of fell. You can do your own reviews on that. This one is a CS144, and targeting the one that gives you 140 amps. That would be vehicles such as Impala 94 and 86, the Caprice, same year, 94 and 86, 96 Cadillacs, Eldorado, Seville, DeVille. So this one was a junkyard part. These were at the local AutoZone for lifetime warranty. That way, when I take the road trips, if they fail, I can easily exchange them. Now I have 3 or 4 new ones stored away. Take a couple down the road. Hey, if I could avoid replacing them, if this could last longer, regardless if I'm gonna rebuild this, I'm keeping this case. This one is a Delco Remy case. I originally pulled out another alternator, a CS144 off of Seville. It was the same one, a V8 engine with the alternator to the side instead of at the front of the engine. So the bracketry was a little different. That wouldn't work on my setup. No brand name on the case. I went over to another Cadillac Eldorado 96. Same alternator, CS144. This one was labeled Delco Remy, and what I liked was that it said remanufactured. That means it wasn't the original one to the car. Someone had one rebuilt or bought a rebuilt one and put it on there. So there it is. Hopefully this can last me a little longer. It had a fan similar to this one. So an external fan. So you can see the difference in size of the fan. This one's a little bigger. This one on this side is a little bigger. Generally they come in with serpentine belts, so they don't have the one groove pulley like they do for the 12SI. But that's an easy swap. The ears, if you see them side to side here, they're pretty similar. What's cool is that when you put them side to side like this, the cases front to back, fan to the rear, are pretty much the same in length front to back. That is pretty cool. If you're worried about the head, the pulley being further front, not aligning, it looks like the pulley will align when it comes to that. Now the ears, one to the other, the girthier alternator has a separation about 1/2 inch. So we can show you the measurements right now. We're just flipping it over. So ear to ear. In fact, let's get one of these magnets here. It says 7 3/8, maybe 7 1/2. Let's grab that again. It's hard to do it with the pulley on the way and the fan. Luckily, this one is loose. So it's about 7 1/2 for the 12 SI alternator. This one is not loose, but I will be taking off this pulley and putting a 1 groove pulley. We have about 8 inches right here. So that gives us about 1/2 inch difference for that top ear to mount a little higher. That means 1/2 inch spacer difference when it comes to using this alternator on your existing 12 SI setup on your small block Chevy 350. All right. Oh. Pretty cool, pretty neat, right? One thing to note on this alternator, that it's girthy, it's beefier. It has 2 mounting areas for a bracket. So on the Eldorado, where I grabbed this from, not only was it mounted from the ears, but it was mounted right here via 1 bracket with 2 holes holding it on. So in theory, it doesn't leave room for adjustment on this model. The tightening of the belt comes via serpentine belt. So that's something to figure out if we're going to use the CS144, which is beefier, with the mounting here and there. If we also want the security of using these two for support. So once you figure out where you want it tight, maybe this can be made with a bracket that's adjustable as well. Maybe with an open sliding area, such as, do I have one here? Let's check out my drawers and see what I have. When it comes to alternators, here we go. Look at this right here. I'm thinking something like this, with a notch, with a sliding area. That way, if this is gonna move, your final, that's just an idea, right? But there it is. The mounting And each bolt that came out of this was taken off with a number 15 metric wrench. Okay, 15. So if you're gonna get one off the yard, take a 15 with you. Some sockets, some long sockets. This one required a long socket. This one's threaded up here. So another thing for this goes on the bottom bracket. Another thing for the top bracket for adjusting. That top bracket that comes on these small block Chevy 350s. The sliding hole such as this. This is for a power steering setup. The hole for sliding was not meant to be this big. So I believe people open up that space to allow this type of size bolt to go through. But you can always just put something that's just enough to go in there and put a nut. So maybe not use a threaded part of this hole. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. So hit your local junkyard. Avoid paying $300. Although right now, as I'm making this video, I paid with insurance of 30 days about 50 something. Rock Auto has BB Industries. I don't know if it's a closing sale for that company, but they're about $55. So that might be worth it, especially as a spare for road trips. If I'm gonna be using this one, I might go for that. Delco Remy, it's a known brand. Or here you have a 12SI if you're just wanting to upgrade to something less girthy, with 94 amps being plentiful. So other than that, the two wires for the 12SI are sold everywhere, the pigtails. One goes to your engine, your dash light for your alternator, and the other goes to your horn relay, your power source where they all join up, and then the main one for your power to either starter, to your battery isolator. The main feed goes to this one. Same deal here. Main feed goes to this one. This one is nice to upgrade to a thicker wire. Well, when you're upgrading from this one to the CS144, you definitely want to upgrade that wire, right? To 4, 0. You want something thick on there and you want it fused. All right, so this can go to your starter or it can go to your battery, but you need it fused. And this being 140, you want to fuse it at 150. I'm putting an isolator in my van where this is going, small block Chevy 350. This is not going to the starter, it's going to my isolator for my two batteries. This will go straight to my isolator and then the battery fused at 150. Same for the second battery, fused at 150. So there you go. What's left is the harness here. I could have cut the one from the junkyard for the Eldorado. In fact, I can always go back, get that part of the pigtail. And I believe only 2 wires are used. And same difference here. If you have a light, alternator light, it goes to that. If not, you need a resistor. I have a light. I'm gonna connect the same way as this. And the other one goes to a field source like this one. my horn relay in this case. All right, I hope you enjoyed the comparison. Stay tuned as I install this in place of an existing 12SI on my van, small block Chevy 350. See you on the next one.
Make sure you click the like button and subscribe to follow me for more videos.